Last summer, CNBC aired a documentary on the rise of the super rich. It was called Untold Wealth. We aired it right as the New Gilded Age was kind of ending. But you may remember one of the stars, or certainly one of the people we featured, was Glenn Stearns. He made his millions as a mortgage lender in California right from the ground up. And believe it or not, Glenn Stearns had his best year ever last year. Joining me now is Glenn Stearns, the chairman of Stearns and Companies. Glenn, nice to see you. You're still standing?
Still standing.
You know, California, everybody hears that, housing disaster. You have gone from being a mid-sized lender to the second largest private lender in the state of California, the 14th largest mortgage lender overall. How did you do that?
How pathetic is that, isn't it? I mean, that is, I tell you, what I think it has to do with is the fact that everyone has deserted the broker. I mean, you take a look at the crisis and the problem, and a lot of people blame the little guy. He brought us terrible loans. He's the guy that did all this. So a lot of the big people have left and deserted the broker. Being a mortgage banker, that's what we do, is we cater to that small guy. So with this kind of vacuum, you know, we've come into that space and have really grown.
Have you hired people?
We've hired a lot of people.
Really?
Yeah, a couple hundred people to help fill this void, like I said. And it's amazing because, again, half the business in the country was done by brokers. And to think they were the problem. I mean, when, you know, in your House of Cards special, we know Wall Street created this, you know, this exotic program to allow non-owner occupied, you know, investors to come in, speculate on the market and crash the market. It wasn't all due to the little guy out there.
Right. And state your income and everything else. I would think things are very different in the mortgage market these days in California. What kind of loans are you doing? What kind of volume are you doing?
Well, we're doing mostly FHA and VA and selling direct to Fannie and Freddie. I mean, that's all that's left.
So it's all prime?
It's all prime.
And what's your volume?
About $400 million a month right now.
Okay, which is now obviously taking you way up.
Yeah, exactly. And I tell you what, we're writing today. I mean, you know, this pendulum, right? It's obviously swung so far the other way now. I mean, the best loans we've ever written, you know, in 20 years. Okay, I mean, we're documenting everybody's income. You have to use that 4506 to go check the IRS to make sure. Where the brokers aren't allowed, starting in the next 30, 60 days, to order their own appraisal. I think that's a good thing. But at the same time, you know, we have gone in and we scrutinized the broker and the borrower so well that these loans are great loans, you know, and they're not failing.
But can you get credit? Well, you need credit from the banks here in New York. Are you having a hard time lining up those warehouse lines that you rely on?
That's why everybody says I'm still in business. I can put up with more pain than most people. No, that's what it's about. You want a laser-focused way to get this thing moving. At least in our spot is dealing with the warehouse banks. Allow the credit to come in. Allow people to bank these brokers.
But you need $100 million of line of credit from this bank and $200 million from that bank so that you can put out your mortgages before you get paid back by FHA or Fannie or whoever.
Exactly. And every month we lose a line, we go out and gain a line. I mean, it's this game of just shuffle, you know. And
so nobody's there for good at this point.
Nobody's there. That's the one unknown, is if we can continue to have the credit, we can continue to help and bring in good loans, because that's what it's about right now. Again, we're paying for the sins of yesterday. We all are. You know, it's not today's loans.
You know, what it's also about, of course, is when housing prices will stop going down. In 2005, you knew bad times were coming. That's why you're still here. What are we going to see in California, largest housing market in the country, in 2009, 2010? Is it bottoming?
No, I don't think it's bottoming yet. I think, you know, we still, again, everybody's in fear. Everybody doesn't know what's happening, and so they're still going to, all the foreclosures obviously haven't hit. So, you know, it's still, the bottom, you know, what do we got? Who can predict? But,
well,
I mean, at
least you're as good as anybody. Give me some prediction.
Well, again, in 2005, when I was on a show and we had all these people beating me up saying, why, Glenn, do you feel this isn't going to go on forever? And it reminds me of a tidal wave when you see the ocean, you know, receding and everyone's out there picking up all the treasures. No, look for the wave coming. There's something happening. And that's what happened back then. Today, we're in a situation, again, it's going to go down for a while longer. Okay, but there's great bargains. So I think we should start to have some type of, if you're going to be a homeowner and you're going to buy, don't worry about whether it really goes up or down. Just live in your home, enjoy it.
Right.
You're getting a better deal. You got better interest rates than you've ever had. So
said like a mortgage bank. Glenn Stearns from the Stearns Companies. I'm glad. When I do a documentary, I'm glad guys are still actually out there.
Exists.
Yeah. Thanks to Glenn Stearns.